For centuries, history books told us that Africa waited for trade, for knowledge, for civilization to arrive from somewhere else, but on the coast of present-day Tanzania. The ruins of a city prove the exact opposite. This is Kilwa Kisiwani, an African city-state that once controlled Indian Ocean trade, minted its own gold coins, built magnificent stone palaces, and connected Africa to Arabia, India, and even China, long before Europe ever arrived. This is the story of a lost African metropolis that changes everything we thought we knew about world history. Kilwa Kisiwani was founded around the 9th to 10th century CE on a small island just off the Tanzanian coast. But it wasn't just any settlement. It quickly grew to become one of the most powerful and influential city-states of the Swahili coast. Now, what was the Swahili coast? Imagine a chain of bustling African trading cities stretching all the way from Somalia down to Mozambique. These weren't colonies or outposts built by foreigners. They were independent, African-run cities, built by Swahili-speaking people with deep African roots, who became incredibly wealthy and culturally rich through global trade. Kilwa was the jewel in this crown. Its strategic location made it the perfect gateway between the African interior and the vast Indian Ocean. Ships from across the world docked at its ports, bringing goods, ideas, and people. This fusion of cultures created a unique Swahili civilization, a blend of African, Arab, Persian, and Indian influences, but with its own distinct identity. And at the heart of it all was Kilwa, the city that would soon control the most valuable commodity of the medieval world. Kilwa's real power, its rise to legendary status, came from one thing: gold. Not gold found on its shores, but gold from the deep interior of southern Africa. Specifically, from the great kingdom of Great Zimbabwe. Caravans would transport this precious metal hundreds of miles to the coast, and Kilwa positioned itself to control this flow. By the 13th century, if you wanted southern African gold, you had to go through Kilwa. This monopoly made the city fabulously wealthy. Gold from Kilwa traveled across the Indian Ocean, reaching markets in Arabia, Persia, India, and beyond. The city became so prosperous that the famous Arab traveler Ibn Battuta, who visited in the 1330s, described it as one of the most beautiful and well-constructed cities he had ever seen. He marveled at its wealth, its generous ruler, and its devout population. Kilwa wasn't just a stop on a trade route. It was the engine of a global economic network, a financial powerhouse built on African gold. This incredible wealth was physically manifested in the city itself. Kilwa wasn't built from wood or mud, but almost entirely from coral stone, cut and shaped with incredible precision. Its ruins today still showcase this stunning architecture. The Great Mosque of Kilwa, for example, was one of the largest mosques in all of sub-Saharan Africa at the time, with beautiful columns and vaulted ceilings. Then there's the Husuni Kubwa Palace. This wasn't just a home, it was a massive royal complex with over 100 rooms, an audience court, a trading center, and even an octagonal swimming pool. Beyond these grand monuments, the city was filled with multi-story stone houses, intricate courtyards, public wells, and sophisticated port facilities designed for international trade. This was a permanent, planned, and powerful African city. It was a statement of urban power, a testament to the skill, ambition, and prosperity of the Swahili people who built and inhabited it. The global connections of Kilwa are etched into the very soil. When archaeologists began to excavate the ruins, they found a treasure trove of international artifacts. They unearthed beautiful Chinese porcelain from the Song and Ming dynasties. They found iridescent Persian glass and glazed pottery. They discovered coins from Arabia and intricate glass beads from India. This tells us that Kilwa was a cosmopolitan hub, a place where the world met. But what's even more incredible is that Kilwa wasn't just importing goods, it was a major player in its own right. The city minted its own copper and silver coins, and some argue, even gold coins, some of the earliest ever produced in sub-Saharan Africa. These coins, bearing the names of Kilwa's sultans, were a symbol of sovereignty and economic power. Kilwa was fully integrated into a globalized economy. Centuries before the Atlantic world came to dominate international trade. So, What happened to this magnificent city? Kilwa's decline began in the late 15th century with the arrival of a new, aggressive power in the Indian Ocean, the Portuguese. Its stone palaces and mosques fell into ruin, slowly reclaimed by nature. If you want to explore more incredible African civilizations, cities, and histories that the textbooks skipped, make sure to subscribe.